I did think Get the Strap was going to be more cinematic. I thought it was going to be, you know, acting and some lines and some cuts and different things that really brought you into a story, you know, where you got... I was going to kill it, but it got away. Rambo Hustle, back with some lemon water, and today is a very special day because today I announced the date reveal for my album Palm Trees in Indiana. Now, I've been working on this album for about 2 years. It's allowed me to really manifest the direction that I wanted to take it to. It's allowed me to fill in the pieces without having to rush it, and it's allowed me to create a ton of visuals that will be rolling out very soon, so I'm really excited to hear that. If you guys are interested in my music, make sure you check out palmtreesinIndiana.com. You sign in right there, you'll be able to basically put in your email, and we'll be sending you emails with new releases, exclusive things, and whatever the hell I come up with in the process. In other news, J-Rock mentioned that he might be releasing a second album this year. Personally, I'll take anything I can get from J-Rock in regards to new music and an album. However, I do feel like the buzz that his current record has should be magnified and manifested into what it could be, which is an Album of the Year award on some level, or that kind of recognition. I do feel like dropping a second album may kind of wash down his brand. It might kind of just kind of bring down the value of what he did with his first one, and then we'll start looking at the second album and not really be sure if the first one was that good, or if the second one's not nearly as good, then that's gonna definitely bring his value and his stock down. So it's a risky move by TDE, but I can tell you from experience, from working them for a lot of years, back when I was in LA, they do move with a lot of strategy. They know exactly what they're doing. They've thought about this probably for months now, and if he's dropping a second album this year, they've had that plan for a lot longer than we've heard about it. So if he does, if they mention it and it is actually a true fact that J-Rock is having a secondary album to follow up his Redemption project, you can expect it to be solid, to the equivalent or close to what his first album was, and I don't expect them to slack off on this at all if they are going to take that risk moving forward. The first that I want to kick it off with is the Tekashi 6ix9ine, 50 Cent, Uncle Murda, and Casanova music video for Get the Strap. And I want to preface it by pointing out the fact that I think this is maybe one of the first times that we've seen an artist take a, I guess, hashtag or a phrase or a saying that went viral. It was popular enough to actually create a buzz or a following behind it, and actually make it a record and actually make it something that can go. Now, do I think this is gonna be a major commercial success? No fucking way. However, the record Get the Strap with Tekashi, Casanova, and Uncle Murda does provide a great landscape for solid New York street hip-hop, which, you know, to be honest with you, as much as Tekashi does represent that, his sound is considerably different from what this record brings. This is a traditional, reminds me of the old G-Unit album, is a traditional 50 Cent type of beat, melody, delivery, and I think that's why Tekashi doesn't really quite fit into it. Now, I know a lot of Tekashi fans are really hype about the record, and they loved it, and they loved his verse, and so on and so forth. I personally don't think this, the beat and the production and the record really fit him, although I do think it's a great look for him to be collaborating with a legend like 50 Cent alongside other up-and-comers like Casanova and Uncle Murda. But again, a great New York street, gritty, gully-ass record that motherfuckers can get robbed to. You know, that's just what it is. It just is what it is. But again, like I said, I don't think... I think this may be, and again, it's not 50 Cent's record, so I don't think that Tekashi will be counting this towards his Billboard count, although he has a new record with Anuel AA, which is a Latin artist from Puerto Rico who just did crazy numbers on his first album coming out of jail, and he has a collaboration with him. I believe it's called Bebecita. I'm not 100% sure, but that comes out on the 31st. So we'll see what that does. I personally don't think Tekashi's Spanish is very authentic or sounds great by any means. But I think just based off fan base and following and hype, the record will probably hit Billboard and he'll be 9 for 9. So with that being said, it is what it is. Now, another news, Wild 'N Out had Ludacris on the show last week, and somebody came out dressed as Tekashi 6ix9ine and asked who they would sign, whether that be Nick Cannon or Tekashi 6ix9ine. And Ludacris responded, well, I would sign Nick Cannon because I don't know how long 6ix9ine will be around. Of course, Tekashi took that to heart and blatantly overreacted. But hold on. I do want to discuss this because I find it interesting that a legend that feels that is beyond him or below him or irrelevant to him would take the time to that day, because the video came out the next day, go record a record and shoot a video to it just for the sake of making sure he caught the wave. Again, clout chasing is a real thing in 2018 and everybody's doing it. And I don't think Ludacris, with his 20 million records sold and his, I don't know, what should we call it? His, I guess, iconic status really puts him outside of that field. So I'll let you guys decipher it. I do think he killed the record, the diss record that he put out with the video. He went hard, but again, it's, for some reason, Ludacris, as good as he is at rapping and at making records, he has never landed anywhere close to anybody's top 10 list or top 5 list, or anywhere where people would say he's one of the greatest. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the Wale factor, which we can discuss on another day, but, you know, I do think that there's something missing from the Ludacris brand, where it was just too goofy, it was just too playful, it was just too light for the streets to really take to the subject matter and what he was talking about at the time in a very serious manner. Back up on my bullshit like I'm mastermind in Watergate. Nixon on my wrist, ironic, dick riders on Alizé. I prefer you say you suckers acting like some